Ignatius. We discussed Ignatius even more in depth on the Skype program from Colorado. I mentioned that there are a number of printed editions, versions, translations of the Apostolic Fathers. And I read from my green hardback, which I don't have in here, by J.B. Lightfoot, the great Anglican scholar. I have the 5-volume Apostolic Fathers set from Lightfoot. He did a lot of work on it. But I mentioned that there were others. For example, more up-to-date, up-to-date, modern in the sense, the Apostolic Fathers, Greek text and English translations, edited and revised by Michael W. Holmes. And so you have this, PhD, Princeton Theological Seminary, and you can, I think this is what I read the Didache from, if I recall correctly. But here is the section, the letter to the Magnesians, and you've got the Greek text and on one page and the English on the other, with some textual footnotes and a few things like that. So it's available in other forms. But listen to the argument that's made here. I'm not going to go much farther with this because as soon as I hit this, I was just like, there are other things to listen to, and we moved on from there. But listen to the argument.
Martyr. So this man, unto the death, he defended the truth. Huh? Okay. Now let's see who translated our works. Okay. His name was Joseph B. Lightfoot. Okay. So real quick, read that on top, Brother Mac.
Who translated the letters of Ignatius of Antioch? In particular, the letters of Ignatius to the Magnesians, where the controversial quote is found.
Okay, so this guy, clue number 1, Trinity College. Okay, so that's a Roman Catholic college, so that's a problem number 1.
Now, some of you are going, well, why is that so problematic? Well, if you know anything about Cambridge and Oxford, you know that, well, if you know anything about J.B. Lightfoot, you know that he was an Anglican. He was Bishop of Durham, which is what N.T. Wright has been as well. Trinity College was formed by Henry VIII. Now, if you know a little bit about your history, you know that Henry VIII broke with Buddhism, Hinduism, Mormonism. Oh, that's really... it was Rome. That's right. Henry VIII broke with Rome. And when he was basically, as king, taking over most of the Roman church properties in his realm, he was convinced by one of his many wives not to simply close down this school, but to combine a bunch of schools together. And that was the origin of Trinity College at Cambridge, a well-known Protestant, not Roman Catholic. Now, is it because of the way he's dressed? Is it because of the word Trinity? I don't know. But to just simply go, well, the first problem, clearly we can't trust this translation because Trinity College, that's Roman, is just... how do you respond to this kind of stuff? It's literally on the level of space aliens, The Enterprise came back and changed all the records using, it's a slingshot effect. And, if you just hit the warp reverse right at the right time as you're going around the sun, you get to go back and you can beam people out of, airplanes. And how do you respond to stuff like this? There's no substance to it. It's just, I'm going to make stuff up and throw it out there, and I'm just going to say it confidently and expect you to believe it. it's difficult to respond to that kind of stuff in any type of intellectual way because there's no intellectual content to it. It just does not show a serious concern about truth. And to criticize J.B. Lightfoot's rendering on the basis of the fact that he went to Trinity College, and that's a Romanist institution, when it was formed by Henry VIII, who rebelled against Rome, not only makes the Roman Catholics chuckle, but it should make everybody chuckle. It's just not worthy of anyone. It's not worthy of a mature, thinking human adult. But it is part of cultic thinking, and that's exactly what you have here. It really, really is. All right, take that down a second. Now, that was the GOCC. The stuff coming out from the other groups, the Sakari and GMS, and you can't even play all of it without getting your video marked explicit. For a couple of minutes, for example, in this video, this next video, there's a F-bomb on the screen. You know, as confused and shallow as GOCC's argumentation is, at least they don't do that. I mean, when you got to give somebody a golf clap for just not swearing at you, it gives you an idea, again, of what we're dealing with here. But this one caught my attention. Like I said, the vast majority of them, I'm sure I could find interesting tidbits if I were to spend, I don't know how long it would take me right now. I don't know how long it would take me to even watch what's currently up there that has appeared. I mean, some of these things are hours long. This one was nice and short. But what caught my attention was two things. One, right at the beginning, somewhat edited, but not edited for content, not edited to really take anything meaningful out. They present a bunch of material directly from the debate. And this is being this is going to be watched by people who would not have watched the entire debate or would never come onto our channel or whatever. In other words, it's sort of like when Muslim by Choice reposts entire portions of the dividing line. We don't mind because he's getting it out to an audience that we never get to. So it's sort of like, okay,